What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a little bit, but we're back, and today we have an exciting project for the 350 here. Now, something that I was kind of iffy about doing on the car was headers. Personally, because I have a warranty on the car, and we're not doing headers on the car. But what we are doing is we're doing a Shifteck cat delete. But the cat delete is just, for install purposes only. So, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting on the Shifteck cat delete, and hopefully that's going to make our car louder. I hope. I don't know exactly what it's going to sound like. I mean, we're taking out the cats, so it should make it louder. Like I said, install purposes only. Now, what we have here is basically a bone stock 350 engine modifications for the most part. All of it is mainly cosmetics. It's going to be our first performance upgrade, if you want to call it, I guess, or exhaust upgrade, however you want to look at it. So let me go ahead and unbox this thing and show you guys what it looks like. And here she is, our Shifteck cat delete. Now these pipes are made to order, so I think turnaround time on it was 8 to 10 weeks right now. But basically what you have here, this looks like our passenger side because of that flex pipe right there, and then our driver's side as well. Now these do come with the baffles as well, so kind of help. Oh no, both these have flex pipes on. Sweet. So we'll figure out which pipe goes where, and yeah. All right, so based on how we set up here, that's going to be the driver's side, that's going to be the passenger side. Now we do have these bung fittings sitting in here to block off, but essentially this is going to act as a O2 sensor spacer, so basically you won't have to worry about a check engine light, hopefully at least. And then we have our baffle things, I forgot what they're called, but basically to help with noise reduction, everything like that, and vibration, stuff like that. So let's go ahead, get our car jacked up, and get to work on it. So we have the car lifted up on all fours, basically as high as our jacks can go. And what that's going to do, that's going to allow us to get the most room to work underneath the car that we can, because taking out these pipes can be a little bit of a pain sometimes. Can not be. Just the more room you have, the better it is, basically. So make sure you run your engine a little bit to get the engine a little bit warm, not hot or idling temp, but like anywhere above like 140, 150. And the reasoning I say that is because what we're going to be doing, we're going to be reaching for some bolts down in there that you might be able to see. And then same thing on the passenger side. This one, yeah, there's no way you're going to be able to see that. But basically, that's where the bolts are going to be. So the hotter it is, the better it is to get them off, especially depending on how many miles you have on your car. This car has 40,000 miles, so can be a little tricky. Spray some WD on it, some PB Blaster, some to help break them loose at least before you let it sit a little bit. So now what we're going to do is, I sprayed some on it already, so what we're going to do is we're going to let it sit a little bit, then we're going to get to breaking. So, got it sitting for a little bit. Now, you can't see it from up top here, but basically, there's going to be a bolt connecting the catalytic converter to the rest of the manifold. You can't really see it from here. Underneath the car, you'll really be able to see it. I can't get a focus on it, but it's right around there. And it's basically going to be the same exact thing on this side here. Right, come on. Right around there. You should be able to see, oh, you can't see the bolt, but basically there's a bolt right there, same thing. And what we're going to do is we're going to feed a long extension down there with a 15mm socket on, and we're going to try to break it loose. So that's not much we can do now, just go for it. So we got the driver's side done, and actually the two bolts, we didn't actually have to even go from the top, we were able to get from the bottom, and I'll show you what method I used here and show you where they are. If we go underneath the car, here we can see the catalytic converter, and we're going to find, actually you can see both bolts in frame. So one bolt's going to be right there. The other bolt's going to be right there. I used the two wrench method in order to get it on. Basically, where is it? 15mm socket. Stick it on there. Slip this wrench over the 15mm like that, basically. And now you basically have an extension of a wrench now. And that's broken loose now, so now we're just going to go to the passenger side there. You see that wire hanging down, actually. That's actually the wire for the catalytic converter. Basically, unplug those. This is going directly to the cats, and that's kind of just going to make it a little bit easier in case you drop it and then you forgot to unplug these prior to. Go ahead and do that now. You don't have to worry about that wire holding you up later on. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm using a torch to heat up the bolts a little bit more and make it a little easier to break loose. what we got going on here is we fished an extension all the way down to the bolt right there. You can see our extension. We're actually missing an extension. I have no idea where it went. But all we gotta do now is crack that top bolt loose for the most part. Hopefully we have enough leverage and torque, so. Right, that one is broken loose now. Now we still have to get to the one at the bottom. So what I have here is a long handle ratcheting wrench, and hopefully, and really hopefully, this can help do it. Because the bottom bolt is usually the easier one, so. Oh, there we go. Now that all of our bolts are loose, that's going to make it a lot easier for us. Basically, all I have to do now is disconnect the mid pipes right there, and these pieces will basically just fall out now. So let's go ahead, just disconnect those, and then I'll show you what we're looking like when we get these guys out. As you can see, we have both catalytic converters out now. All we have to do now is get those O2 sensors out. And to give you an idea, best way that I've noticed to do it, if you don't have a vise, what you're going to need is a 22 millimeter wrench, or I think that's 7/8, I'm not sure. And definitely a lot of heat. What you're gonna do, you're just basically gonna load this baby up with a lot of heat right up on here. You're gonna take the wrench. When you put the wrench on, don't hit it with the hammer. Try to use your hand or maybe a rubber mallet. I noticed that when using a hammer or an actual mallet, it will start to strip the threads out on it there. So make sure you just use a lot of heat, and that should be able to turn out, and then we go and start swapping all the parts over onto here. All right, so we went ahead and we got our O2 sensors swapped over from our old cat to our new piping, and it took about 10 minutes or so. Like I said, heat it up and then just let it sit on there for a little bit in the 22 millimeter socket, wherever it is. Helped a lot. The bungs that they put in there are 19 millimeters, that's why I have that out. So we got them all swapped over. Now all we have to do is just basically reverse the steps that we did, fit this pipe up in there, and then get the bolts on there. Make sure you put the gaskets on there as well. That will help with any exhaust leak. So let's go ahead and just slap them in there. After a little bit of modification, let me show you what I had to do. This end right here, where the rest of the end of the CAD delete goes into the exhaust system, this was expanded open. So this is a 2.75 inch clamp. I basically had to hit it with a mallet in order to shrink it down. And that's basically what we did. And we got the whole setup here fit up and everything like that. So, gonna plug in the O2 sensors and then start it. Actually not too bad on a cold start. In quiet mode, it really keeps it quiet, but when I open up the valve, it's not bad, but based on how it sounds now, when I give it some gas, it's gonna be bad. Let's go get some drive-bys now. So inside the car, exhaust valves open, really not bad at all actually. It sounds stock for the most part. So let's go ahead and get out of here, out of the neighborhood. Car is rumbling and vibrating a lot more though. Oh, never mind, it's a lot. Oh, when I give it gas, it's gonna be so loud. Sorry guys, sorry neighbors. It's cracking and popping a lot more too, I'll tell you that. Oh man, it's really loud actually, like I said. It is really loud just giving it gas. On idle and no movement, we're solid here, we're rocking. When you give it gas, that's when it starts to sound good here. All right, we're leaving the neighborhood here now. Alright, she's loud and she sounds so good. Oh my gosh. I am in love with this actually. All the smoke is burning off from the cat delete right now, the oils and everything. I can see it coming out the back and coming up to the side. I can smell it. Oh yeah, she sounds good. She sounds really good. Damn. By far, one of the best mods I've ever had. Alright, let's give it a shot. Dumb loud. Initial impressions, idle, barely any movement, sounds great. It's almost like stock. It's really, once you start to get on it, that's when you start getting your sound in, and that's basically what I like it. I don't want it to be obnoxious at idle and stuff like that. I like how it is, how under load is where you hear it really get on it. We'll bring it back to the house and I'll get a couple flybys for you guys. Well, after filming that, I guess I forgot to do an intro or outro. But overall, I think it was a great addition to the vehicle. I mean, it made it more loud than anything. I guess put on a dyno to figure out performance numbers, I guess. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, just drop a comment down below or hit me a message on Instagram. But feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.